Good morning, crafty friends. It's Nemi Bastone here with Nemi's Crafty Cafe. And I am in my studio today, located in Cooks Creek, Manitoba, just 20 minutes of north of Winnipeg, 20 minutes north of Winnipeg. So if you're here, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Preferably comment. And definitely like. Facebook seems to be once again making some crazy changes. I was going through everything and trying to figure out who liked, shared, comments so I can put you in the wheel of names. And normally when I click on my numbers, it kind of gives me a summary of who did what. But now, for some reason, share doesn't tell me that and comment doesn't tell me that. When I go on comments, I literally have to go through every single comment. And I'm like, what is going on? So I'm starting to lose faith in Facebook and may need to switch to YouTube. Life's just so much simpler over there for me. And it could be simpler for everyone, really, because a lot of people do hop on there. So I don't know what's going on, but it is a really annoying and disappointing method right now. So we'll just have to see. So good morning, Christine. Good morning, Kathy. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, so that is my concern right now with Facebook. So, I always ask, should I switch? I ponder on it all the time, what to do, and I can't seem to go stream on both at the same time because my Wi-Fi, it doesn't seem to be, even though I have Valley Fiber, it doesn't seem to be accurate. So let's see what happens here. So I can see the delay already. But last week we did Flowers Fair, which is more of a background stamp. And this was Monday. This was Tuesday. Here is Wednesday with a scrapbook page that I started, right? And then Thursday we did the split card. And then Friday we did a gift card holder in 2 colors. And so I did the draw. And the winner was Janice Croswell. So congratulations to Janice. And you know what? I'm just going to write that in here. So, I don't know if it will actually let me pick her. Oh, yeah. Janice Croswell, thank you for always watching. And congrats on winning last week's draw. Okay. So she's in and she's notified. So she doesn't live far, so I'll just hand deliver those. So here we are in a new week, and I see I've got a little bit of a shadow showing up there, but I'll try to work around it. This week is Global Design Project Challenge. Is a color challenge. Woot, woot. Super excited about the color challenge. Does that work better? I tried to get rid of the glare, so I'm just going to turn off the light and see if I'm too dark or not. Just let me know if that's too dark. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for joining. I think it is a little bit too dark. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right, let me know what you think. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. And I also wanted to highlight the fact that on Friday I had a birthday bash bingo. So we played bingo. So congratulations to all the winners. I don't remember who they all are, but I have them written down. And we made 4 cards. So this was one of them. And it's all using all the new product. So there's new designer series paper, dies, and stamps on this one. And then this one too. Here we did some... yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to turn on the light. Here we did some blending with a 12 by 12 stencil. And then this one features all the new in colors. And this one is one of the velvet papers, which I really love. And there's velvet all throughout here. And then this is the velveteen paper. Looks good. Okay, thanks, Kathy. And it also... has all the new, we also use the new ink and the new butterflies. And then this one also is the Lily of the Valley, I think, or something. But, well, Lily of the Valley, I guess, is the actual flower, but I can't remember what the actual designer series paper is. Frame. So I use frames, phrases, and frames stamp set, but then I used all the embossing folder and the DSP from one of the new suites coming out. So anyway, we had fun. I think we had fun making those. So I hope we did, but I'll probably share those throughout the month of May as we create. So, stay tuned. Okay, so back to today. We are working with Bubble Bath, Strawberry Slush, and Granny Apple. And so I thought I would focus more this week on last chance products that are going to be, or that are slowly leaving and changing and are currently on the list. And also, so you're going to get a mishmash of things. And also, it's the last week before our new mini spring and summer catalog opens up. So if you haven't had some of these products now, you probably may want to add them in. But we'll also see how the week goes. So one of my favorites, and I've done a class with this one, is the Coneflower Celebrations. I love coneflowers. I mean, I used to have a lily, like a tiger lily garden. And I say used to because we had to tear everything out due to our house bill. And then I used to have tons of coneflowers in there. I love the height, the way the petals fall. So this is definitely a bundle I will not be getting rid of. And then it also has these coordinating dies that go with it, with also a folding die and the butterfly die. I should have put that here because I forgot that was there. And so easy to work with. And then it has also this beautiful pattern die that you can just easily create with. So it's one of my favorites. The bundle itself is $72.75. However, on last chance, don't buy the bundle. Buy them separately because the stamp set is on sale for $26 and some change. And the dies are $10 less. So it's $48 for the dies, but they actually come out to $38.40. So if you buy this separately, it comes out to $64.80 versus $72.75. And if you're Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, like hobbyist or business builder, you're paying 20 to 25% less. So instead of paying $64, you're actually paying only $50. So even better when you apply the discount. Okay, so we're going to create with these three colors, and I'll show you what I created because I need some advice. So I pulled out this one and made this. So there's our bubble bath, our strawberry slush, and our granny apple green. And then we also have bubble bath ribbon, so I added that in there. Now, there's a butterfly here, so I wanted to add the butterfly, but I didn't know what color to make the butterfly. So here I have a blue one. And then here I have one with shades of yellow, like so. And then I have one with the shades of pink, which is the two that are here, Bubble Bath and Strawberry Slush. So as we create and I go through this, I would love to see what you think. Should we add, and I've already colored these, so we're just going to add them in the end. Should we go with blue? I'm thinking up here because I really don't have any other space and it's facing forward. Should we go with I did yellow next. Yellow. Or should we do pink? So I'd love your feedback. Do post it in the comments and would love to hear what you think. And once again, Facebook is not showing me the comments. See, another reason maybe I should have to start moving to YouTube. I know some of you may not like that, but unfortunately, Facebook has been becoming a little more tedious. So we shall see. Okay. So I'll watch for your comments and I'll leave the butterflies here. So just let me know which one you think makes more sense. So with our card, we are going to need a base. So with this one, I just chose to use whatever was in my stash. and it is a 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, Kathy says she likes the blue one. Okay, so I may just go with that one. And then we're going to score that at 5 1/2. And I, forgot to score it as always. And then we're going to fold it in half. So then that's our base. Ta-da. And then I'm just going to burnish it. And then Christine's like, I like the pinks. So yeah, 1 for 1. Okay, so I'm just going to put that aside. And then I'm going to grab a piece of white willow, one of my favorites. And it is a 12 by 12 versus basic white. I just love the feel of it, the shine of it. I feel like I use way more of the scrap on here just because I get a bigger scrap piece maybe. I'm not sure, but I feel like it's just my pattern or thought. So this I actually cut at 3 inches. Let me just double check here. Oh, 3 1/2. So I'm going to go to 4. And then I'll just get a 1/2 inch strip. Let's make sure I'm right. Yeah, 4. Okay. So I'm just going to cut. Sorry, my blade was way down at the bottom because as you know, when you use a paper trimmer, you shouldn't always cut in the same direction because then only one side of the blade gets worked. So you should always be cutting alternatively in each direction. So now my blade is up there. So now I'm going to rotate this and go to 5 1/2. Now I'm just going to add an extra 1/2 inch and go to 5 3/4 because I always like to add that little extra if I'm putting in an embossing folder because sometimes the paper gets sucked in with all the embossing. So then you get a different shape. Okay, we are 2 for blue. Good morning now, Debbie. Thank you for joining me. So I think we may have a verdict already. So now we're going to use which folder is it called? Here it is. The Beautiful Pattern, and I believe this one is on Last Chance as well. I think when I looked it up, I just want to double check and make sure I am right. But I think it is, let's see, Beautiful Pattern. And yes, it is on the Last Chance. So it's instead of $14.50, it's $13.05. So I picked the right one. So another one of my favorites because it's also kind of like a, kind of like a quilt in a way. And you can see it here. But, oops, Butterfingers. You can see it better here. It's almost like a quilt and it could be used for so many different things. So I like it, and I'm a sucker for embossing folders. I really like embossing folders because it's a quick, easy way to add that lift and give yourself that extra beauty. So I'm just sticking that in there, and there is a line here that you can use to make sure you're straight, but because I did cut mine slightly bigger, I just eyeballed it, and I think I did a pretty good job of making sure it's straight. So then I'm going to sandwich this between plates 1 and 4. And I'm just going to do that over here on my big embossing cut machine. Now you can't use the mini on this one because it's too wide. The mini only goes at 3 1/2 and it just wouldn't fit. Okay, so then when we take it out, there it is. And we're going to trim that down when we get to the card. So when you go here, this actually just... You can see it's bigger than what I did here. So now I can trim it down. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to trim it down to, what did I trim it down to? 4 1/4. What did I say I trimmed it down to? Oh, my ruler's still packed. I haven't finished unpacking from the weekend yet. So I cut it at 3 1/2. I think that's funny. From like last Friday. And then we're going to go 5 1/2. I'm going to switch sides because this side was probably the top, and I can see on my pattern that it doesn't go all the way to the edge. So we want to make sure that that goes all the way to the edge. Okay? And then that's 5 1/2. And now those 2 other pieces just go into the scrap bin. This way we have a little bit more look on it and it'll fit. It should fit. Okay, so we're just gonna put that there and put that here. And yep, there we go. It fits. Ta-da! Okay, so we're gonna glue that later. Let's get the assembly of our flowers together. And my green. Oh, here it is. So I have a piece of scrap green, and this is a piece I already found in my scrap bin, and I'm going to do again. So I'm just going to grab the stem from here. There's this big long stem. And this is Granny Apple Green, so I'm just going to do tone on tone. I'm a big fan of tone on tone. I don't know why, but I am. It's just my thing. So I'm going to grab that. And now it is a straight line, so really you can just seriously trim that, but by hand. But since we have to do all the other leaves, I'm going to leave it and then add that in there. So then I'm going to take this, and then our 2 leaves are going to go here. So these ones are the outlined ones, right, like so. And then I'm going to then, normally I just die cut it, but I'm just going to show you a slight different look. If I can find my green. There it is. So I kind of know roughly where I need to go. So I'm going to bring my Granny Apple Green in again. And I'm going to take some ink and just rub that in here. I know, it seems kind of dumb, right? But really, it isn't. You'll see why. It just adds a little bit more texture to the die cut pieces. And it's a lot easier to ink it up before you die cut it. And it doesn't need to be perfect, just needs a little bit. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see how it changes. So this piece will go here. Actually, that long stem. Because it will slide, I will tell you now, it will slide. We're just going to add that in here. And I'm going to use tape to hold it in place because I've done this so many times. And it has slid. And then these 2 can go here. Not too concerned about those 2. And then we need this one here. And this one here. Now, I've already taken some pecan pie and die cut that piece, so it's here. And then this is all we really need. Okay, so I'm going to run that through my emboss and cut machine. And this one's going to need a few more plates than normal. So we're going to pull out our number 2 and 3s to get that done. So I'm just going to carry this over. Oh, I got some ink there, so that's fine. We'll clean that up. And of course the dies slid, so let me get that back into position. And then we're going to cover it with our top plate and slide it through our emboss and cut machine. So it's a new week and it's the end of the month. Does anybody have anything exciting planned? Oh yeah, I'm using my magnetic stamp. My magnetic mat, I should say. So, I'll drop those in place. And now you'll see that there's a slight difference in color between the 2. Can you see how one is light and one is dark? And I didn't do this on my first one, I just die cut it all. But I wanted to show you how it can change if you have the coordinating ink. Now, if you have a darker ink, that's fine too. Do it. It actually adds a little bit, it adds a lot of oomph to it. So I'm just trying to, come on. So this is garbage now. Just trying to get those dies so I don't lose them. The reason why you have a magnetic sheet is so you don't lose your dies. These ones are a little bit bigger, so it's hard to miss, but when you have smaller dies and you just kind of have them on a messy table like mine, they're easy to lose. Okay, So now we have all this, and now we just need some assembly, but we're just gonna do, well, we'll do our sentiment shortly after, okay? So we're just gonna I'm gonna grab my tweezers. And so these all fit on one another, like so. So I'm gonna grab my fine tip adhesive. Now you could use adhesive sheets, but because they're only 2, I'm not too concerned. And you could also grab your silicone mat, which is not in its normal home. It could be, did I pack it? I can't remember if I packed it this weekend. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay, just gonna take a needle. I'm gonna poke it because it could be just some glue stuck in there. Some glue that's dried up a bit. And I gotta put my needle back so I don't lose it. And let's try that again. Or I need to refill. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, see, it was all globby. This is where you need your silicone mat. And I don't know where mine is at the moment. Okay, so then we're gonna layer that right on top. And I love using liquid glue for these kind of things because then I can just wiggle it and move it around to find it. There we go. Match, matchy match. And then I'll go here. And I usually like to put my tweezers wherever it's the skinniest, because then all these thick parts, like right here, even though that's the center, I can put adhesive there. So I don't want to put my tweezers in the way there. Okay, we don't need a lot. It'll hold, trust me. It always does. I mean, it is the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue that is inside there. And one Stampin' Up! Bottle fits in that one container, so it works really good. Okay, so there's our pieces, and then we're going to assemble these. So I took this light one. You could curl the ends if you like. Now these are the exact same die. It's the big one that I used here, so I didn't stamp. So if I line them up perfectly, they'll obviously just overlap, and it becomes useless for me to use the color. So pretty much matches. So it doesn't really help. So in order for me to stagger it, I just pulled it over a bit, like so. So then that way you can see both colors underneath. So then we're just gonna add some adhesive here. Like that. And then we're just gonna overlap it however we like. So then that way we see a lot of the other color coming through. Then I'm just gonna flip it over. And then right here, I'm just gonna trim off that extra. This wee little bit. It's not a very sunny day today, so like out here it's really, well, the sun is just starting to peek through. Okay, so then that way I still have my flower, but then when I put this on, that's not hanging over. And it'll just cover up like so. So let's add some more liquid glue here. I didn't Pop-Tart this. I don't think it's necessary. There's so much detail in it. So I think it's just fine as is. Okay. Ta-da! And then we're going to add some Wink of Stella to that when we assemble. Okay, so now let's do our assembly. And if you want, you could also wrap the ribbon around there now instead, if you'd like. Here I just did a double bow, but then I thought, oh, I should wrap ribbon, and I didn't. So you could take this and wrap it twice if you like. But but I felt like it was fine the other way. So let's add some adhesive here. I think my bottle's almost empty, so might as well just keep going. So I'm going to, this Saturday, by the way, is supposed to be National Scrapbooking Day. Totally not prepped for it, but I completely forgot. And this weekend, I'm also going to a crop. So on Saturday, I was hoping to go for the full weekend, but now I found out Bishop's got a game now that's been added to the schedule for Friday. So I'm like, just can never win. So anyways, he's playing against Brandon. So it's like, oh, okay, well, good thing I didn't book the whole weekend because it's literally in St. Andrews. And the creative gathering is in Ile-des-Chênes. So can you imagine? So I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to stay home that Friday and go to Bishop's game. Sorry, folks. I'm sad. But at the same time, you know, it is my son's game. So I'm going to add that there. And sometimes if the leaf on this one, if your stem is too long, just cut it. So here I'm fine. The stem is okay. And I've put it at an angle, and I've tilted my flower also at an angle just to give it that little look on there. And then so we're just going to glue it down. So I'm just going to add glue here on this. I'm not going to glue my petals. And then I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there in case I want to tuck my leaves in. I can't remember if I did that or not. That's all I'm saying that because I don't remember. Made it long ago. Okay, so there's our flower. Now our two leaves, we're going to do our thing and pop up one side. Oh, I'm out of mini dimensionals. Wowza. These are all black ones. Gotta open a new pack, but we'll just use up this first. And I'm going to take one each and put them on the tip so that this way it's sticking up. And then on the bottom tip, we'll use a mini glue dot or some adhesive, whatever works for you. So remember, I had that little space there. Let's see if I can get to it. So I can tuck this in a bit. And then we have our one leaf. And then this end is, oh, it's not popping up because I forgot to take off the backing. Duh. And then one on this side. And peel the backing on that one. And stick this one in. And there. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it's off because that's the way we like it. And then we can take our ribbon, and I did a double bow, but you can do a single, whichever your preference. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to add just a bit more on that. And then I'm going to add a bit more. I just don't trust myself. And hey, I got a lot. And then go twisty, twisty. Like so. And then this one here, like so. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna grab my ribbon scissors. Scissors for everything. Glue, paper, ribbon, you know. Gotta keep it going. I got that, and I'll pull these two apart so you can see that there's a double ribbon. And this end looks like it's a little too long. Too long. And then this is going to go right there. So we're going to add a mini glue dot. And then all we have left is our sentiment. And then we got 2 for 1 on the blue butterfly. So we're going to go blue butterfly. Okay, so I have a little piece of 1/2 inch scrap. It's so tiny. But our sentiment is so tiny because we're going to use the Celebrating You. I'm always all about the birthdays because I always need them. And Strawberry Slush. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to blend in the background there. Oops. Forgot to do some blending because in the background, I had a little bit of blending going on, but that's okay because I felt like it was. I'll show you here. I took some blue and we blended a little bit. Oh, you can't even really see it that much. But we blended a little bit in the background to give it a little more life, but I don't think it's necessary. I think we're okay. So this says Celebrate You. I love this set. So I'm not getting rid of this. Is one set I don't think I'll ever sell. Maybe after a few years, but not right now. And then we're going to put that in there. So again, I'm just going to grab my glue scissors and trim this. So I'm going to trim it to about the length. So then that's all that. Oh, I'm losing my voice. My throat's so dry. Just hang on as I take another sip of water here. Oh, thank you. And then I'm going to just tuck that a little bit underneath there or on top of my bow and try and put that straight. You know, I didn't even add embellishments. That's kind of boring. Hey? So then we have that. I just realized that. And then we have our blue. So I'm going to flick those wings. So again, I don't know why I put those away. We're going to grab our scissors. 1, 2, maybe 3. See how it goes. Put a piece here, put a piece there, and another one here. And then we're going to use a glue dot there. So then again, it's lifted. It's not flush. I don't know if you guys have ever been recently to the dollar store. So I was looking at the cards. And the dimensionals they use, they're massive and thick. And I'm like, oh, this is why they're only $2 a card, because they're so cheap and ugly. So when you actually send the card, you see these big, huge, like Pop-Tarts. And I'm like, that's so ugly. But hey, you get what you pay for. I mean, now compare this to a Hallmark card at $10 a pop after taxes. Huge difference. Okay, I cannot go without it, so I'm going to go with Wink Estella, and I'm going to add some bling. This one's out. Let's try this one. Oh, much better. And we're going to add all that shine in there. It's so pretty when it's got that shine. I know it's hard to tell on camera, but let me tell you, it's there. And then I'm even going to add it here. So you'll see it changes color because it's wet. But then when it dries, it just leaves that beautiful glitter shining on there. Oh, you can see it. It's so pretty. Maybe we'll just add a little bit too on the wings here. Because who says we can't? It's so pretty. There we go. Okay. And let's just add some basic gems then. I know I have some here somewhere. And I do have pink ones, but we can just take these. I probably have Strawberry Slush somewhere. Or if you have blends, you can take your dark Strawberry Slush and color these in. Whichever color. Like, the nice thing, you should always have a set of our basic pearls because you can color them with anything, even a Sharpie. If you need black, color it black with a Sharpie. It's doable, like, totally. And so now we're going to take this and we'll add one up there. And then we'll add one down here, let's say. And then we'll put our third one, oops, because we're a little busy over there already. And then we can put our third one over here. Did I lose it? Oh, there it is. I'm like, I lost it. And 3 to me is enough. There's enough going on in there already. Okay, so my friends, that's it so far. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing, and I'm going to stamp the inside. So now we're going to take that big block, which is this one here, and here it says image is at 90, so it looks smaller, but this is actually how big it is. And I'm going to grab my memento. Ooh. And then, it's so pretty. Look at how pretty that is. Like, just leave it. And we're going to stick that right here in the corner. I'm going to push nice on there. Yeah, I didn't get too much on there. So you can see where my paper went. I'm going to just take my chamois here and just wipe that up. Then I'm going to take some blends, let that dry a bit. So while that's drying, I'm going to grab another one that says, I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. So we're going to grab that one. And I'm going to add that down here. Nobody says it has to be in the middle of the card. Just because Hallmark did it that way doesn't mean we have to do it that way. And I'm going to grab some strawberry slush again. And we're going to tap that on there. And I'm going to stick that. I'm okay if I've got my words over top. There. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a little dark, but I think you can figure it out. Then we're going to grab, where did I put it? Oh, there they are. Some pecan pie. And just get right in here. And color that in. Like that. Now I'm not going to do the whole two-tone thing, but I will do the whole two-tone thing down here. Now what did I just grab? Light? Okay, good. Okay, so this all gets colored in. So we're just going to throw some strokes in there to get a base. So this is the inside, and here it's hard to tell, but you color the whole thing. And then this, I think, is a gap right there. So let me double check the stamp set. Nope, it's not. Okay. And I'm going to take the dark, and where all those little lines are. So this is the fun thing with Stampin' Up! Is they give us all these shadow line potentials right here. So I'm just stroking those with the brush end, just freely. And that'll give us our second tone. And then I'm just going to go in there again, lightly over top to blend that a bit and give it a nice look. And then you can do the same with the envelope. Add that flower in there. Okay, so then we're done. So here was my original, no butterfly, but a little bit of blending in the background. And then here we've added the butterfly, and this looks really crooked. Sorry, I just noticed it looks super crooked. There, that's much better. And then on the inside I did do similar, but I didn't put a sentiment. And here I put the sentiment. So that's it. Any questions? So I hope you enjoyed that to kick off your week of creativity. And we'll be back again tomorrow morning, Tuesday at 9 a.m. So thanks again for popping in. And don't forget to like and comment. And if you share, just let me know. Or if we are Facebook friends, I do know. So I know, Kathy, that you do share. So I did put your name in there for an extra. But I couldn't figure out who actually did share, because normally when I hover over it, it tells me, and it wasn't this time. So really weird. Anyway, and if you're on my on YouTube, you have to comment, or else I can't add you in this week's draw. So, because I can't tell at all who liked or who did a whole like or anything like that, or an emoji, whichever works better for you. So have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Happy Santa.